Saint Rita combined in her life various states of life and did well in each. Her devotion to the Passion of the Saviour led to this gift as a result of her prayer of having a part, a small part, in that Passion, her receiving the wound of one thorn from the crown. But her whole life was participation in the cross. She was of parents of a certain age and therefore the only child. She wanted to become a nun, but her parents wanted her to marry, and she yielded to their desires. But we know the consequences. An unhappy marriage. He was violent, his husband, and he got into broils which actually led to his own murder. He was ambushed and killed. Although actually it seems that it was the result of his having been converted through the prayers of his holy wife, in not wanting to go any more along with the faction that he was involved in, for Italy was full of these glorified factions that we today would call gangs, groups of people who had a certain importance. And hence, when he was withdrawing, there was a vendetta against him. And there would have been a further vendetta because his sons, when they came of age, would have wanted to avenge the murder of their father, which led then to the prayer of St. Rita, that rather than have them go into mortal sin, they should be taken. And her prayer was answered very swiftly, and the Lord took them in their innocence, which left her free. But the monastery did not want to take her in because of the involvement of the family with one of these feuds, and there would have been sisters from one or the other part of this, as it were, tribal warfare in the monastery. She had recourse to St. John the Baptist, St. Nicolau Tolentino. Nicolau Tolentino was a great preacher, an Augustinian, and St. Augustine himself. And it seems that they managed to get her in through miraculous means. And she persevered until death, for 40 years at least, and wherever she goes and is invoked, miracles follow. Roses, these odours which oftentimes one has smelt. One time when celebrating quietly on her feast day in the Carolingian chapel in her honour, there was a great odour of roses all the time, and no flowers present. The miracle of the bees is well known, and at this time they come out of this strange niche, and then they eventually go back. It still happens every year. She is a model for those who stay by their husband. The great exorcist, Father Gabriel Amort, said that the very name of Rita causes the demons to tremble. The saint of the impossible. She never lets us down. One day at the Chartreuse, I was asked to clean all the reliquaries, and it was a quite strange experience. The names of each was on these little relics. One could see very old, ancient saints of the early church and more recent ones, Carthusians and others. And I could see there was one thing in common, the title that each had won. I spent an afternoon among the saints. They did not say a word, yet spoke to me of bygone days, of martyrs' unheard plaints, of unseen virgins' sealed virginity, confessors' proven virtue, pontiffs' faith, of mine own brethren now gone on before. It was as though I bumped into the wraith that still clung fast to every living pore of these used tools of merit. I shook hands with many who had worn what I now wear, and I thought hard o'er this small word that stands before the name of each life lying there. Each his one life has had, his only one, the one great test has passed. The title, One. I thought it was far more important than any academic title. St. Saint was the real one that counted. Score on the